An explosive new biography is lifting the lid on the private life of the Wales family behind palace doors.
Despite being a man known for his gentle composure and sense of royal responsibility, Prince William is facing one of the most difficult periods of his life. His father, the king, is currently fighting for survival, an experience that is not easy at all for the 42-year-old, and William's recent revelations about his father have sent shockwaves down every alley in the United Kingdom. To add salt to the injury, his wife, Kate, who's been the one confidant in his life, has been dealing with her own health concerns. All these, coupled with the emotional split between William and his brother, Harry, are sprinkling oil on the fire. It's as though each aspect of William's life is sailing on turbulent waters, and yet he must remain stable and confident, like the future king everyone expects him to be. Keep watching to discover the shocking revelations from Prince William, the current situation with his wife, Kate, the emotional conflict with his brother, Harry, and the latest updates on King Charles's fight against cancer. Prince William is no stranger to emotional struggles. Losing his mother, Princess Diana, at a very young age has had William having to deal with his private turmoil before a global audience pushed to his face by the media. This tragic loss influenced his attitude early on, causing him to employ a stoic personality in public while grappling with deep-seated sadness in his personal life. William and Harry connected for years over this common pain, but their paths have already diverged so dramatically that even this current sadness in the family appears to no longer keep them together. William's emotional endurance has been tested several times, but the present situation feels like a breaking point. William's royal obligations are numerous, and they do not allow for personal issues. Whether he is attending a state dinner or launching a mental health project, the expectations are the same. William must represent the monarchy with dignity and commitment. But underlying it all, he is carrying a heavy emotional burden. His father's cancer diagnosis is more than simply a public matter. It is also extremely personal. Watching a parent suffer is never easy, but for William, the stakes are even higher. He's not just preparing for the potential loss of a father, he's preparing for the weighty transition to kinghood. On February 7, 2024, William, the Prince of Wales, attended a dinner for the London Air Ambulance Charity Gala. This is a cause to which he has a personal connection, having worked as a pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance Service from March 2015 until July 2017. In a speech at the occasion, William paid respect to the King, who was diagnosed with cancer earlier that week, as well as his wife, who was thought to be recovering from stomach surgery. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you also for the kind messages of support for Catherine and for my father, especially in recent days. It means a great deal to us all, William began, before jokingly continuing, it's fair to say the past few weeks have had a rather medical focus. So I thought I'd come to an air ambulance function to get away from it all. But there is concern because Charles's cancer was discovered during a recent operation to address a benign enlarged prostate. It is even thought that the king's condition might not be prostate cancer. However, Buckingham Palace has yet to define his specific medical diagnosis. As for the Princess of Wales, Kate had long returned home to Windsor following her scheduled abdominal surgery on January 16th. The princess is in good spirits, a royal source revealed when she was discharged from the hospital. She was not expected to return to royal duties until after March 2024. Somewhere in William's address at the gala, the royal paid tribute to another popular individual among the attendants, Tom Cruise. Tom, if you wouldn't mind not borrowing either of the new helicopters for the next mission. Impossible, it would be appreciated, the prince joked. We have all seen on our screens that, how can I put it? You seem to have a different take on normal wear and tear to the rest of us. It's not the kind that buffs out. William finished just before going for handshakes. But behind the royal smiles and formal appearances lies the truth of a man grappling with his role in the face of enormous personal crises. While William is certainly prepared for the throne, mentally and institutionally, there's an emotional toll that comes with knowing your father is ill and that your time to lead is rapidly approaching. The monarchy is more than just a position of authority. It is a family affair with generational responsibilities. Every day brings William closer to the inevitable, and it is apparent he is beginning to feel the pressure. In recent years, William has become more candid about his personal difficulties, particularly those related to mental health. His frank comments about the hardships of parenthood, royal life, and the pressures he endures have made him endearing to the public. He, along with Kate, have spearheaded initiatives that emphasize mental well-being, perhaps as a way to cope with their own struggles. In one notable interview, William mentioned that becoming a father brought back some of the trauma from losing his own mother, a rare and vulnerable admission that gave the world a glimpse into his emotional world. Yet, this vulnerability also shows how far the monarchy has come in its relationship with the public. Where once royals were expected to maintain a stiff upper lip, William has begun to break that mold, offering a more human side to his royal identity. This change is perhaps one of the reasons why he remains so popular, even as the royal family itself faces numerous challenges. William's emotional strain doesn't just make him relatable, it makes him a symbol of the evolving nature of the monarchy. As if William's emotional strain wasn't enough, the looming shadow of King Charles's health only deepens the gravity of the situation. King Charles has long been a figure of resilience. He waited longer than any other heir in British history to gain the throne, becoming king in 2022 following Queen Elizabeth II's death. For Charles, this was the climax of a lifetime of planning. However, his rule was swiftly overshadowed by a cancer diagnosis that might cut his time on the throne short. The specifics of Charles's condition have been kept under wraps, but the fact that he is ill has raised concerns both inside and outside the palace. The king's health is more than just a personal family issue. It is a national worry. The monarchy is inextricably tied to the political and social fabric of the United Kingdom, and any instability at the highest levels calls into doubt the institution's strength. Charles's health has cast a spotlight on royal succession, with many questioning how long he can practically perform his responsibilities. This uncertainty is exacerbated by the fact that Charles, despite his best efforts, has never been as much adored as his mother, Queen Elizabeth II. His sickness has overshadowed his rule, which is still in its early stages. For William, this poses a new form of challenges. He has always known that he will one day be king, but the prospect of that changeover occurring sooner than intended has most certainly weighed hard on his mind. Preparing for a post like this entails not just learning the ropes of administration and public service, but also intellectually and emotionally accepting the great responsibility that comes with being the head of state. As Charles's health deteriorates, William has the tough burden of preparing to take over, while simultaneously supporting his father during his sickness. There is no doubt that King Charles and Prince William enjoy a deep father-son connection, but that does not mean they do not have conflicts on occasion. According to Robert Jobson, a royal specialist, Prince William and Charles, who generally seem to get along and agree on most subjects, recently got into a heated debate regarding the safety of William's family in his soon-to-be-published memoir about Catherine, Princess of Wales. Jobson revealed that Charles had raised concerns with William over his use of helicopters. William, who is an experienced pilot, often flies with his wife Kate Middleton and their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. Jobson wrote that after King Charles was diagnosed with cancer, he became more aware of his own mortality and started to worry even more about his sons' and grandchildren's safety. This concern re-echoes those of his late mother, Queen Elizabeth, who had also previously requested that William not fly with his entire family in the same helicopter. According to a palace aide, the late Queen Elizabeth didn't hold back in expressing her opinion about this. She was haunted by the death of her flight captain during a helicopter crash back in 1967, and this tragic event left a lasting impression on her. So when William refused to stop flying with his family, Charles reportedly took an extra step by drawing up a waiver for William to sign. Jobson wrote that Charles insisted William sign a formal document acknowledging the risks involved and taking full responsibility for his actions if anything were to happen. Such a waiver could offer little comfort in the event of an unimaginable tragedy, particularly with the disconcerting thought of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle potentially becoming king and queen in such a scenario. In a different section of the book, Jobson equally discusses how Kate Middleton has been playing a calming and stabilizing role in her husband's life, particularly when it has to do with misunderstandings between William and his father. A source close to the royal family revealed that Kate's impact helps keep the future king and his father at peace, showing that she plays an important role in the royal family's dynamics. King Charles's current state is a national concern because the British monarchy has dealt with concerns about succession in the past, most notably during Queen Elizabeth's reign. Her father, King George VI, took to the throne after his brother, Edward VIII, relinquished his regal duties. In a similar pattern, the health of King Charles re-echoes past memories, reminding us and the royal family alike that nothing is certain, even within the most reliable of institutions. William, much like his grandmother before him, may soon find himself thrust into a position of power under less than ideal circumstances. Adding a bit of complexity to the issue is the fact that Charles's reign is supposed to represent a period of continuity. After decades of waiting, his role as king was meant to solidify the monarchy's place in the modern world. However, with his health in jeopardy, there is a fear that the monarchy may undergo another period of change, this time under William's leadership. The world is watching attentively to see how this plays out, and William's every action is being examined as he prepares to wear the crown one day. Despite his challenges and personal struggles, King Charles III has won the deep and lasting respect of Britons. This respect is important for the monarchy, especially during challenging times. To understand why Charles is so valued, we need to look at his journey and the various factors contributing to his positive public image. Charles's journey to the crown hasn't been plain at all. Right from when he was a young man, he had often faced criticisms for being distant and for the controversial aspects of his personal life, especially his problematic marriage to Princess Diana. But with time, Charles labored hard to reinvent himself. His commitment to charitable works and public service has been a significant force in changing how the public sees him. Charles founded the Prince's Trust, which is one of his most outstanding public achievements, in 1976. The organization was created to assist young folks facing difficulties in their life. Since its inception, the foundation has given education, employment training, and startup capitals to thousands of young people within and outside the United Kingdom. The Prince's Trust has become a beacon of Charles's legacy, showing his dedication to making a positive difference in society. And this is seen by many as proof of his devotion and compassion. Also, Charles's care for the environment has brought him a great measure of respect. For a long time, he has been a proponent of sustainable living, often speaking out on issues surrounding climate change and the environment long before they became major concerns. His devotion to organic farming and conservation shows his progressive stance on the world's most crucial issues. Charles has created awareness about these issues and also encouraged others to make constructive decisions and set good examples. In recent years, he has encouraged sustainable architecture and assisted a couple of green initiatives. This commitment to the environment has gained him several supporters who share in his dreams about the green revolution and the need for a more sustainable future. Charles' engagement to these issues demonstrates his genuine care for the world and its future, which is consistent with the rising global emphasis on environmental stewardship. The public's response to the initial revelation of King Charles's cancer diagnosis in February 2024 has been one of sympathy and encouragement. In a series of social media posts, particularly on X, formerly Twitter, people throughout the nation sent their well wishes for him after learning of his condition, expressing worry for his well-being. This response demonstrates how much regard and respect Charles has accumulated over the years. The public's support at this trying period demonstrates how closely the people and the monarchy are bonded. It demonstrates that Charles's dedication to his work and his individual contributions have made a lasting good impact, in spite of any disputes or difficulties. This support is essential to the monarchy because it keeps the institution relevant and stable. Charles's public reputation has also been shaped by his attempts to modernize the monarchy. He has attempted to give royal tasks a more contemporary and approachable look, realizing that the monarchy has to adjust to modern norms. The public's perception of the royal family has improved as a result of his attitude to solving societal concerns and interacting with younger generations. For instance, Charles has contributed to a number of projects that fight social injustice and encourage diversity. He has demonstrated that the monarchy is a force for transformation as well as a symbol of tradition by concentrating on these values. The monarchy is much more relevant to the inclusive and socially conscious society of today because of these modernizing efforts. Peeling back the layers on King Charles's career, we can see that his legacy is one of commitment to service. His accomplishments with the prince's trust, his advocacy for the environment, and his dedication to standardizing the monarchy in a modern way all add up to a set of achievements that many admire and respect. King Charles III's enduring affection from his subjects is a statement of his years of dedicated service and his efforts to address contemporary issues. His work with charities, his environmental advocacy, and his modernizing efforts have all contributed to a positive public image. But this isn't to belittle the contributions that the king's wife has had in his leadership, nor her strength amidst the current crisis. Queen Camilla, on her part, has always been seen by the public as a divergent royal figure. Her path to royalty has been fraught with scandals. This was obvious right from when she reportedly played a part in the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage to her eventual acceptance in Buckingham Palace. Now faced with the current crisis, Queen Camilla and Prince William have put up a united front in supporting King Charles during his battle with cancer. But their relationship hasn't always been easy. Royal experts shared with the media that William at first didn't get along with his stepmother, Camilla, after witnessing the messy and public breakup of his parents' marriage. William initially couldn't stand Camilla. However, over time, he came to appreciate her dedication to her royal duties. Now they've grown closer, especially as they both support their spouses through cancer treatment. It is said that Camilla has a calming influence on King Charles, which William appreciates because it makes his father happy. Even though William and Camilla's bond has grown over time, it was not also easy for the Queen. When Camilla first met William, she was so anxious that she always wanted a drink to help her feel better. Camilla's early meetings with William were uncomfortable, since she knew that she was perceived as the one who had stood between Charles and Diana. William never showed hostility toward Camilla, regardless of his angry emotions for her. This was partly because Camilla made the wise choice to never attempt to take on the role of a mother figure in any manner. According to royal analyst Christopher Anderson, despite the fact that Camilla is not the typical mother because she did not raise her own kids well, she does occasionally speak to King Charles about what she believes to be William's and Harry's excesses. Prince William and King Charles have frequently fought over the years because they have very different leadership styles. While William is resolute and fast to act, Charles is more emotional and often speaks from the heart. William's fame and innovative style often strained relations with his father, who represented more traditional beliefs. However, now that Charles is king, he feels less resentful of William's popularity. Camilla, who is always protective of Charles, ensures that William is aware if he crosses a line with his father. And despite their differences, William and Camilla now respect each other's strengths and understand the importance of supporting one another, especially during difficult times like this. Even though they get along well now, Camilla is not hesitant to caution William when she thinks he is treating his father badly. Jobson recounted an episode in his book when William and Kate requested to go with Charles and Camilla's security convoy as they were leaving Windsor Castle. But Camilla was displeased that William and Kate kept the elder couple waiting. To teach William a lesson, she advised Charles that they should go without them. By the time William and Kate emerge, the convoy had already vanished into the distance. The book also mentions Camilla's frequent, subtly suggestive remarks to William about respecting royal hierarchy. But while William and Camilla may have reconciled, Camilla and Harry remain at odds. In his memoir, Spare, Harry paints a picture of Camilla as a villain, accusing her of leaking intimate discussions to the media in order to promote her public image. He stated that Camilla's links to the press made her hazardous, and that she was eager to exchange information to improve her reputation. This portrayal of Camilla was especially delicate because of her role in the disintegration of Charles and Diana's marriage, which had already made her a contentious figure in the public's eyes. Harry and William were also concerned about their father's marriage to Camilla, with Harry claiming they urged Charles not to marry her. Despite their misgivings, Harry stated that he wanted his father to be happy and that Camilla would be less of a menace if she found happiness for herself. The memoir's claims have reportedly affected Harry's relationship with his father. Royal analysts think that criticism of Camilla is one of the few things Charles deems unforgivable, and it remains uncertain if the King and Harry will ever entirely reconcile their disagreements. However, looking back on Queen Camilla, in recent years, she has proven herself to be a steady and supportive force within the monarchy, especially as Charles's health deteriorates. Camilla's role as the Queen Consort has taken on new significance in light of Charles's illness. She is not just his wife, she is his partner in dealing with the pressures of the crown. Her public appearances alongside Charles have shown a united front, one that suggests she is deeply committed to her husband's well-being and to the stability of the monarchy. In several ways, it seems Camilla is becoming an unseen hero in this royal narrative, silently and smoothly holding the royal family together. Queen Camilla is no different from past queens of consorts who were known to play a behind-the-curtains role in assisting their husbands. But it seems hers is much more than a ceremonial duty. For instance, the 77-year-old has remarkably shouldered more palace responsibilities in a bid to ensure that the king can fully concentrate on his recovery. This is amidst ensuring that the daily operations of the monarchy flow seamlessly. This effort of hers is no small task, particularly when we consider public sentiments about her. But Queen Camilla has labored long enough to promote her image, and her silent strength during this challenging time is not going unnoticed. For William, Camilla's presence is a source of comfort. Although the journey to full acceptance hasn't been smooth, especially in the period that followed Diana's death.
We've got more photos up around the house now of her, and we talk about her a bit.
William has come to accept Camilla as a worthy ally. Both of them have formed a close bond, and Camilla's presence during Charles's illness has also strengthened this relationship. The assurance that his father is in safe hands has likely eliminated parts of the emotional burden William carries. Camilla's strength also shows the need for something very important within the royal family: the importance of unity. Given the declining condition of Charles's health, the royal family must put up a united front to sustain the confidence of the public. Camilla's ready assistance for Charles has helped to emphasize this image of stability, even as the monarchy's future remains uncertain. In many ways, she has become the backbone of the royal family during this very challenging time, especially for Prince William. Of all the problems confronting William, none is as hurting as the present tension between him and Prince Harry. Once the inseparable brothers, both men have grown distant in recent years, with their closeness gradually diminishing, especially when we consider Harry and Meghan's decision of leaving the royal life behind. The split between both brothers has been the topic of endless media tirades. And while the princes are quite vocal about their strained relationship, it seems there's little hope of possible reconciliation. For William, this estrangement is particularly painful. The two brothers were bound not only by blood, but by their shared experiences of loss and duty. Having grown up in the spotlight, they always had each other to rely on in ways not even the media could understand. But now that their relationship is fractured, William is left to shoulder the royal burden without the emotional support of his only sibling. As we speak, it seems that the tensions between both brothers have escalated to the point where William might not even invite Harry to his coronation, should it happen anytime soon. According to reports, the relationship between William and Harry is so complicated that they haven't spoken in over 2 years. It is said that William did not reply when Harry and Meghan sent their get-well-soon messages to Kate during her cancer treatment. Kate, in a recent video, disclosed the strenuous process and the effect this had on her. While King Charles is still looking forward to mending the relationship with his second son, it's been quite challenging, given Harry's present legal battles over security arrangements in the UK. King Charles is said to avoid speaking at length with Harry, fearing that his conversation might be used to form the contents of another volume of Harry's memoir. This kind of mistrust is a major barrier, and it seems unlikely that Harry will be able to regain the trust of his family, especially since they believe private conversations have been leaked. The unease between Harry and his elder brother, William, is not just a personal one. It has far-reaching impacts for the future of the royal family. The monarchy has always stood for unity, and the ongoing rift between both brothers is threatening to downplay this symbol. For William, the emotional toll of this rift is immense. He hasn't only lost the validation of his brother, he is also facing the needless sentiments that follows their estrangement. These ongoing issues in their relationship, or lack thereof, points to the intricacies of living a royal life in our modern age. The strained relationship between brothers was shown by the decision of Harry and his wife Meghan to relinquish their royal duties, which William reportedly interpreted as betrayal. Harry's departure did not just leave a void in the public appearances of the monarchy. It also caused a family feud that has been difficult to fix. So William's frustration is understandable, given Harry's public criticisms and the media's portrayal of their relationship, which has added to his emotional burden. For William, managing this situation is an additional stressor as he strives to balance his public duties with private issues. However, it seems both William and Harry have made efforts to address their issues. This is because, per the declining state of the king's health condition, Prince Harry flew back to Buckingham Palace in a move to be closer to his extended family. This has led to speculations of hope and reconciliation between him and other members of the royal family. Still on the subject of the British royal family, there has been news that Prince Andrew is facing fresh pressures to vacate his resident royal lodge. This comes after King Charles decided to end the security team's contract in the fall, which will affect his younger brother and current Duke of York, Prince Andrew. But in spite of this, Andrew reportedly wants to keep holding on and eventually bequeath the lodge to his children. So far, we have discussed Kate Middleton's health issues, the family dynamics between Queen Camilla and William, the emotional tension with Prince Harry, as well as King Charles's current health condition. The king is said to have kept his recent meeting with Prince Harry short, partly so he doesn't run the risk of passing on any infection. Even though the specifics of his condition remain undisclosed, there's been reports that his health is worsening as he battles with cancer. We can only keep hoping that the monarchy will share more information about this in future. As for William, he is not just a supportive husband to Kate Middleton, he's also juggling between royal duties, his personal and family life. We recognize that this is a difficult position to be in. However, we hope he will continue to find a healthy balance across multiple hospital meetings and emotional support, while remaining a source of encouragement for both his immediate and extended family.
How the British royal family found itself at the centre of the most talked about story in the world.
And why I believe this weekend is so important. But don't worry, unlike Lionel, I won't go on all night long. As my grandmother said when she was crowned,
after several years of speculations and keeping things in the shadows, Prince William is finally out with his decision on the issue concerning Queen Camilla and Kate Middleton. Right from when she became Prince Charles's new wife, there have been several controversies about Queen Camilla. Many people have speculated she played a role in Prince Charles's divorce and the tragic death of Princess Diana. Queen Camilla is also not on good terms with Prince Harry, who thinks his dad's marriage to Camilla is something that should have been avoided.
We didn't think it was necessary. We thought that it was going to cause more harm than good, and that if he was now with his person, that surely that's enough. Why go that far?
And just when we thought this was all, Camilla's issues with the much-loved Kate Middleton and the interplay of Prince Charles in the unfolding drama makes things much more complicated in the royal family than we'd thought. Keep watching to find out what happens with Queen Camilla, how Prince Charles is involved, and what Prince William is saying about Camilla's behaviour toward his wife, Kate. In the past couple of decades, the British monarchy has faced several challenges, such as crises and controversies that have impacted the royal family in major ways. Perhaps one of the most alarming ones is the decision taken by none other than Prince William, which has brought Queen Camilla into an undesirable spotlight.
because for over 50 years, in every corner of the UK, across the Commonwealth and around the world,
could it be that William has been silently keeping tabs on her these many years and was waiting for the right time to air his grievances? As far as Camilla is concerned, Prince William's revelation puts the future of the royal family at stake. But before we look into what the prince said, why he said it, and what his statement means to the monarchy, let's quickly go over how Queen Camilla came into the royal family. Queen Camilla's entry into the British royal family was anything but conventional. Born Camilla Shand in 1947, she came into the world far from the grandeur of royal life. Her family, while respectable, was far from the aristocratic few. Her father was a wine merchant, and her mother was a socialite. But their background was grounded in the comforts of middle-class life, rather than aristocratic privilege. Camilla's early years were spent in the rolling countryside of Sussex, a setting that would later become a symbol of her connection with Prince Charles. Her upbringing, though comfortable, was characterized by a distinct lack of royal pedigree. She attended boarding school and later went to Paris to study, leading a life that was relatively ordinary compared to the royal figures she would later rub shoulders with. Camilla ran into Prince Charles in 1970, a fateful encounter that would change both their lives. They met each other at a polo match, a sport both admirers shared a common passion in. Charles, then a young prince, was instantly drawn to Camilla's charm and wit. Camilla, with her simple nature, related with Charles on a level that was beyond their different social statuses. Their bond deepened over a shared sense of humor and their interest for the countryside. In spite of Camilla's marriage to Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973, her connection with Charles never faltered. Their relationship was carefully hidden, like a secret chapter in the lives of two admirers who could not quite let go of each other. Charles was good friends with both husband and wife, and was even made a godfather to their kids, Tom and Laura. As Charles and Camilla's affair continued beneath the surface, it was widely known within their circle of friends that they were seeing each other secretly. Prince Charles started dating Lady Diana Spencer in 1980, and they eventually tied the knot in 1981. Camilla openly supported this union and never saw the easygoing Lady Diana as a threat to her friendship with Charles. The birth of Prince William in 1982 and Prince Harry in 1984 was a difficult period for Camilla. She wasn't sure how her closeness to Charles will affect the young princes, so she decided to withdraw in the early years. Also, Camilla had to joggle between building her own family and keeping her relationship with Charles as discreet as possible. However, some secrets can never remain hidden, no matter how hard we try. So Charles and Camilla's rendezvous was finally brought into the limelight with the 1992 publication of Andrew Morton's book, Diana, Her True Story. The book discussed the relationship between Diana and Charles, which reportedly began in the 1980s. The revelation came at a time of intense scrutiny, and the media was thirsty for scoops. Remember the popular Camilla-gate and Tampon-gate scandal? It caught on like wildfire, as the clandestine affair was made public through a series of leaked phone conversations. During this time, Princess Diana's marriage to Charles was in shambles, and she was often heard mentioning the presence of a third person in her matrimony, whom many speculated to be Camilla.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
This controversial affair is what defined and has always defined the perception of Camilla by the public. Many also believe she contributed to the eventual dissolution of King Charles's and Princess Diana's marriage in 1996. The media coverage was explosive, spreading a gloomy shadow over Camilla's reputation, and this was further tainted by the death of Princess Diana on the 31st of August 1997 from a tragic accident. In the years that followed, Camilla completely withdrew from the public, out of respect to the mourning family and nation. In spite of the criticism that came after, Charles's and Camilla's relationship surprisingly stood the test of time, albeit very cautiously. Their love and respect for each other was crystal, even as they encountered a throng of public and media ridicule. Charles eventually sealed their union in 2005, marrying Camilla into the royal family, not just to secure his happiness, but to instill a motherly figure in the lives of the young princes. But will Camilla ever fully be accepted by the public and the royal family, given her storied past? Tensions with Prince William, Harry, and the royal family. From a young age, the princes were thrust into a world where it seemed their personal lives were dissected and debated at every point in time. They watched as the media portrayed their mother, Diana, as a victim of their father's infidelities. The emotional toll on William and Harry was palpable. They struggled to reconcile the image of their father's lover with their own memories of family life before the scandals erupted. But Charles's introduction of Camilla into their lives was a careful and calculated process. The kids had initially met Camilla at a private park, away from the media's prying eyes. Over the years, as Charles and Camilla's relationship solidified, the princes had to deal with their evolving feelings. The process was slow and fraught with tension. William and Harry's acceptance of Camilla was not instantaneous. Though their relationship with her evolved, it was always tinged with the shadow of their mother's memory. The marriage of Camilla Parker Bowles to Prince Charles was more than just a union. It was a watershed point in both their personal lives and the history of the British royal family. In comparison to other royal marriages, this one was calm. It was held at Windsor Guildhall, a humble venue in stark contrast to the magnificence of previous royal rituals. William and Harry's attendance at the wedding was an important gesture. Their attendance symbolized a turning point in their relationship with Camilla. The princes had come a long way from their initial wariness. Their participation in the wedding was a slow but meaningful acceptance of Camilla into their lives. Yet the transition was far from smooth. The title that Camilla would hold became a contentious issue. Initially, Camilla was to be recognized as Princess Consort, a designation intended to honor Princess Diana's memory. This title, while honoring Camilla's position as Charles's companion, was designed to respect Diana's memory and alleviate any potential public embarrassment. However, as Charles prepared to take the throne, the decision was made to elevate Camilla to Queen Consort. Some saw this as a vital step toward modernizing the monarchy by reflecting a more contemporary attitude to royal titles and functions. The title Queen Consort was interpreted as a mark of respect for Camilla's position and commitment to Charles's life. The decision to bestow this title on Camilla was viewed by some as an erasure of Diana's legacy, stirring up teary emotions. This evolution was not just about Camilla's title, but also about how the royal family presented itself to the public. Accepting Camilla into royalty was not an easy venture even to Queen Elizabeth II. But the moment of acceptance finally came when the Queen attended a ceremony that Camilla was invited to. This effort by Queen Elizabeth was seen as a subtle endorsement of Camilla in Charles's life. Camilla versus Kate Middleton. The royal family has always been in the spotlight of relationships, responsibilities, and public perception. When Kate Middleton entered the royal scene, she quickly became the image of the modern monarchy, a fresh face who symbolized both tradition and progress. Camilla Parker Bowles, on the other hand, had emerged from a very controversial past, but the seeds of tension between both women were sown long before Kate ever stepped into the public eye. After decades of being viewed by the public as the other woman, Camilla finally joined the royal family. But before then, rumors of her affair with Prince Charles during his marriage to Princess Diana had dominated headlines for years. By the time Camilla wed Charles formally in 2005, her reputation had suffered greatly, and she had to gradually build her position as the Princess of Cornwall over the next few years. But in Kate's situation, she was receiving a very favorable reception from people than Camilla. The public fell in love with Kate Middleton almost instantaneously, because she was endearing, relatable, and the epitome of the fairy tale princess. She captured people's hearts not with flashy displays of affection, but rather by projecting an image of a normal person who married into royalty. As William's future wife, her grace and humility made Kate an instant favorite. This quickly created a sharp contrast with the more reserved personality of Camilla. And so, when they formally crossed paths, it was more than two women from different backgrounds coming together. No, it was two symbols of different phases of royal life. Kate, with her contemporary appeal, stood as the future of the monarchy. Camilla, still working to shed the public's memories of her past, represented the struggle of the older generation to find its place in a changing royal family. This tension became more palpable during King Charles's coronation. Royal watchers were quick to observe that Kate, despite her polished and poised appearance, did not curtsy to Camilla during the event like everyone else did.
Kate and William were angry too. And that anger, of course, Harry was angry, that anger went right through that small part of the congregation by the throne, by the center of Westminster Abbey. And in that moment, it was absolutely noticeable to those people who'd been excluded from the coronation that nobody, let alone Kate, curtsied
While such a gesture might seem small, in the world of royal etiquette, it mattered a lot. Many interpreted Kate's choice as a deliberate snub, a subtle but significant indication of where the power dynamics within the family might lie. It wasn't just about a missed curtsy, but about what it symbolized, a seeming rift between the old guard and the new. Their strained relationship wasn't only obvious in public because there were more tensions behind closed doors. One of the most controversial moments came with the Rose Hanbury affair rumors. Rose Hanbury, a close friend of Kate and William, was abruptly brought to light by reports of an alleged relationship between her and Prince William. As could be expected, these rumors caused quite a stir in the media, even though they were never verified. Camilla invited Hanbury to the coronation, a move that fueled the flames even more. Many perceived this invitation as a calculated action, considering the circulating allegations and Kate's unease. It appeared as though Camilla was making a statement by inviting Hanbury, one that many people saw as a challenge to Kate or possibly a power play. Rose Hanbury's presence in such an important royal occasion added another level of strain to Kate's relationship with Camilla, who was already struggling with the weight of the allegations and their possible effect on her marriage. It appeared as though Camilla had ignited a situation that was already on fire, whether she knew it or not. But just as the tension grew, another surprising development was birthed, signaling deeper shifts within the royal family. Prince William, now an essential figure in the monarchy's modernization efforts, made a decision that sent shockwaves through royal circles. This decision was the choice to not rehire Annabel Elliot, Camilla's sister, to manage royal estates. Annabel had long been a trusted figure within royal affairs. With her expertise in interior design and estate management, she had been closely involved in managing various royal properties, including Highgrove, Charles, and Camilla's cherished country estate. Her presence was not just professional, but very familial. She was a link between Camilla and her previous life before becoming queen consort. Annabel's role within the royal household symbolized the close-knit nature of royal operations, where family ties often dictated professional roles. So, when Prince William chose not to rehire Annabel, it wasn't just a routine staffing decision. The emotional impact of this decision was far-reaching. Reports suggest that King Charles was deeply hurt by the news, to the point of being brought to tears. For Charles, who had long relied on the close network of family members to manage royal responsibilities, William's decision was a blow not just to Camilla's influence, but to the very structure of how the monarchy had been managed for decades. But for William, the decision meant more than that. As the future king, he has been increasingly focused on streamlining the monarchy, making it more efficient, transparent, and professional. He is said to be paying income tax on his earnings, although the amount is still undisclosed. It's clear that Prince William wants to adopt a more modern approach to managing royal affairs when he succeeds King Charles, and the decision to distance himself from Camilla's family, starting with Annabel, is seen as a commitment to these values. It is a way of signaling that the old manners of managing royal affairs, often clouded by personal relationships, were being phased out. But the ripple effects of this choice are felt throughout the family. For Camilla, it tells her that, despite her position as queen consort, the royal family was changing. The younger generation, represented by William and Kate, is carving out its own path. And this path will not always align with the traditions that had previously governed royal life. William's decision to distance himself from Camilla's influence clearly indicates the evolving power dynamics within the family. The monarchy's future will depend on how it adapts to these changes and manages the complex relationships between its members. The story of Queen Camilla and her place in the royal family is still unfolding, and we can't wait to see what happens in the coming chapters. The British royal family is in the midst of significant transitions, and Prince William's recent decision regarding Queen Camilla is a key part of this evolution. The ongoing complexities and tensions within the family highlight the challenges of balancing tradition with modernity. As the royal family continues to evolve, the relationship between Camilla, Kate and William represents a smaller part of the tensions at play. The decision made by each of these individuals are shaping the future of the monarchy in ways that will be felt for generations to come, and Camilla's role in this future remains to be seen.